Hey guys, so I am just getting home after a very long week, which was Halloween on Wednesday, and now it's November, so happy November. Um, yeah, I worked 60 hours this week, and I actually feel like I was productive, which makes sense because I worked 60 hours. A lot of it was traveling, but I saw some really cool stuff today on site. We successfully tested a 120-inch valve, so it's a 10-foot tall valve that's 40 foot underground, and we hydrostatically tested it, which is pretty uncommon for a valve that size. You would do it in the factory, and this one was done in the factory. And then by the time it got installed in site, something had happened. Maybe it got warped during transport or something, and it wasn't working quite well. So we required that they test it on site. Um, and it was insane. I got to see a 120-inch valve tested. I mean, I was just on top. I mean, everybody's on top, right? So you've got your entrance into the one side of the pipe, and then you've got your valve on the other side of the pipe, and they fabricated this huge steel plug, which they installed on the open side, which is crazy expensive. I don't know how much. It's at least tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars to fabricate this valve or this plug. I was trying to figure out why they did a steel plug and not like just put in an inflatable plug, but I never really got the story on that. So anyway, they plugged one in. They put the valve. They shut the valve. It's a butterfly valve, so it has a little flapper thing in the middle. They shut it on the other end, and we put water in it. And there's a vent at the top, so you put water in it, you let some of the air vent out, you put more water in it, you let it vent out. And air is compressible, right? So when you start putting water in it and you're putting it under pressure, that air goes into solution and then then it's like little bubbles, right? All in the pipe because it's in solution. And so it slowly migrates to the vent to vent out, and they let it vent for probably a couple days, like putting more pressure on it and then letting it vent. And it held pressure at around 40 psi for 4 hours. Actually, it held that pressure all overnight too. So we did it. We started it the one day, and it held pressure all the way overnight, and then until we officially started it, and then it continued to hold pressure. So, safe to say that the valve works, and everybody's very excited. The guys were like, "We need to get champagne." Um, so, engineers call it a success. And yeah, it was interesting to see a 120-inch valve hydrostatically tested. So I've got some pics of it that I can show you guys. It doesn't look like a whole lot from the surface, mostly because it's just this. On the back of a trailer, they have a diaphragm pump and an engine, and then they've got like your gear shift for the engine, and then they can turn up that pump to 7,000 psi. So we were running it at 40 psi. And we were like, yeah, let's not try to go to 7,000. Be a geyser everywhere of water. So yeah, that was pretty cool to see. I wanted to go out and see a deep well anode installation, like a 200-foot deep well where they put in some sort of anode in for the cathodic protection, which was new to a lot of people on site. The guys who were installing it, the contractors, said, "Oh, we do this all the time in the West Coast. We do 500-foot deep wells." So new to us, but apparently not a new thing. And not new to the guy who spec'd it and designed it, of course. Who he will be coming out to inspect it later and give us all a training on how to maintain and keep up with this cathodic protection system. So yeah, it was a big week on site. I drove out Monday night. Oh yeah, I worked a really long day Monday, and threw the cat in the car in my rental. We drove out to site, and it was dark out, and I was driving through the country, and I could like kind of see some stars over to the side. And I kept thinking, what is that constellation? If only I could stop. And I thought, oh yeah, I can stop. So we pulled over, and I turned off the car, and the cat sat on my lap, like, yeah, this is what we're doing. This is cool. And she just like cozied up on my lap, and I was trying to look out and like see the stars. And there's so many stars out in the country that I just had no idea what I was looking for. And I guess there's still summer constellations. Yeah, I was looking at summer constellations, which are not. They don't have as bright of like major stars is the winter constellations, and there's just so many other stars out there. I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at. So we just kept driving, went to the hotel, and checked in. So yeah, this video is going to be late because I just got home driving back. I had a meeting at 4, a little before 4, and so I didn't hit the road until 4:30. So yeah, this video is going to be late, guys. What else happened? I missed all of the Halloween celebrations and people dressing up at all the different offices and dressing up in Austin. I heard there's a family that has been working on turning their house into a Diagon Alley since July. It's just been a family project, and I guess they did a version last year and they really enjoyed it, and then this year they just decided in July to start working for Halloween. So I wanted to go and see the South Austin house that was Diagon Alley, but I had to be an adult and go to meetings really early Thursday morning, and I figured I probably need to be out on site all week. So yeah, I didn't get to do Halloween this year. Last year I was also traveling. I was in New Orleans and it was raining, and so I worked during some of the raining, like sitting in central control, and then when the rain stopped, it was like 11 p.m. and so I just went and I walked down the French Quarter and saw everybody all dressed in costume, and it was a lot of fun. It's just like me walking along. I think I had my headphones in and just seeing all of these like super scary dressed people, very trashed, stumbling over themselves. And it was a nice night. I just like walked down the street looking around. So there's not nearly as exciting things to go see at night after work in the middle of nowhere, Texas. And I had my cat in the hotel. I had to check out of my hotel this morning. Actually, I did a late checkout. So at 2 p.m., I went back to check out, and I grabbed the cat, and I still had to go back for my last meeting, which I thought I could get out of town a little bit sooner, maybe before noon, and of course that didn't happen. So I went back to the hotel, I grabbed the cat, I checked out, and I came back for a meeting, and the cat was in the trailer. So cat has now seen the construction trailer. She is very quiet and very well behaved, and she just sits in her bag and watches everyone and pretends that they can't see her. And a lot of people actually probably didn't know she was there. My boss was sitting in the room, and he was in town too. He knew she was there. And I think he was quite surprised that she didn't make a word. We'd like forget she was sitting there until she like rang the little bell on her neck. And the client knew she was there only because I said, oh yeah, my cat's in that office and with us, and the door was open because she was just like hanging out in her bag there, her little carrying case bag. And he was just like, what? Your cat must be tiny if it fit in a carrying case. I was like, how big is your cat? So he knew she was there, but I don't think he ever saw her. But she's very mobile. She doesn't like it, but she's been a lot of places with me. She's moved a lot. She's traveled a lot. She's been in a bunch of hotels. So I'm watching her. She's exploring home again. I think she is so excited to be back. And I'm pretty excited too. My place is clean. I left my place clean. And it's always nice when I get back and it's still clean. Some of my plants are dead. Bunches of them turned yellow. That one died. You think it was gone for much longer than like 4 days. Oh, the state of this place. Look at this plant. He's also seen better days. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna let you guys go and hook up my new lights that are smart lights.